You know, in the movie, you deal with some kids who are a little bit on the smart aleck side. When you were in high school, were you at all a smart aleck at times?
No, no. I was a perfect student, and what are you, crazy? Yeah, we all have our moments, and they'll remember them.
You know, I read once that you had gone to school at Beverly Hills High School. Now that's near the Fox lot. Is that true that you and some of your buddies sometimes would sneak onto the lot?
Absolutely, a lot.
Yeah.
What is now Century City, a big real estate, business area, used to be the back lot, and it was right behind the school. And we used to crawl over the fence and wander through the jungles in the western towns, and it was great.
Yeah. Did you learn a lot about movie making doing that?
We learned a lot about running from cops.
Okay. I'd like to go back for a second about a movie you did, American Graffiti. George Lucas, based on his days in a town called Modesto. When you did that movie, did you have any idea that it was going to become a film classic?
No. And I was the only one who didn't. Everyone said, this is going to be a film classic. And I said, what are you talking about? It's just a little movie. So go figure.
Okay. Well, and Jaws, the original Jaws film, didn't you initially turn that down a couple of times?
I sure did. So don't trust my instincts about a lot of things. Yeah.
Okay. Well, what were your reservations about that film?
I had no reservations about the film. I just thought that it would be hell to make it. And I told Steven Spielberg that I'd like to watch that movie but not shoot it. And he was kind enough to ask me to shoot it 2 or 3 more times. And I said, no. And then I saw a film that I had done. I saw the film The Apprenticeship of Diddy Kravitz, and it was the first time I ever had a part, a big part. And I watched this performance, and I thought, I'm the worst actor who ever lived. And so I called Steven desperately and said, if you haven't cast it, please give me this job.
You know, when I saw this movie, I thought a lot about my high school days. I just got the invitation to my 20th year reunion. Have you gone to any of your high school reunions?
Sure.
Yeah.
All of them. And I'm going to unless I'm going to be out of the country, I'll be going to my 30th. I reminisced about my high school reunion before I graduated from high school. So I was really looking forward to it.
Well, how did people react to you at those reunions, the fact that you're a celebrity? Did they, how do they treat you?
Well, they treat me well, and I can't say I love going to the reunions because they treat me like a movie star. These are girls and boys that I lived with long before this happened to me, and there's something very emotional about being with them, and it's hard. I remember going to one reunion and leaving early because I just couldn't take it.
You know, after Mr. Holland's Opus, I spoke to a friend about how this film could almost become a recruiting poster for the teaching profession.
From your lips to God's ears.
Have you gotten any feedback yet from teachers who have seen advanced screenings?
Yes, mostly secondhand, but yes, and the overwhelming response to the movie by teachers is, wow. They love the film and they appreciate what the film is about, and they had an enormous amount of fun, and it's about time.
Okay. A question about surreal scenes to shoot for the movie. The marching band sequence, your take on the uniforms that everyone wore.
Except for that hat. I thought they were pretty good.
Okay. And one final question, we're doing a lighthearted piece on the Oscars. I know everyone asks, what does it feel like to win an Oscar? My question is, when you win, it's not engraved yet, is it, the statue?
No,
Okay.
Good question. You're supposed to hand it back to them. And when I won, I kept it in my tight little hand, left the theater, took a plane to New York to the theater where I was doing a show, and with the Oscar, and it took them weeks to get it back from me.